So you should be looking at something that says this, right? So chapter 6, section 1 is called the Polygon Angle Sum Theorem. And it starts with the parts of the polygon. So a polygon has segments that form the sides of them. Each of those segments, which means it's got an endpoint on either side, it's straight, it can't be curved, is referred to as the side of the polygon. The common endpoint of two sides is called the vertex. And then a segment that connects any two non-consecutive, consecutive meaning one right after the other. So if it skips a vertex and it connects those two, it's called a diagonal. So in your diagram, the red segments are the sides. The blue dots, which there would be one there at C. There would be one here at B, one at A, one at E, one at D. Those are called your vertices. And then what's already there, BD is a diagonal. You can also make BE a diagonal. AD can be a diagonal. EC can be a diagonal. So anything connecting two non-consecutive vertices. All right, names of polygons. So these are special polygons. A polygon with 3 sides is a triangle. 4 sides is a quadrilateral. 5 sides is a pentagon. 6 hexagon. 7 heptagon. 8 octagon. 9 nonagon. 10 decagon. And 12 dodecagon. Anything else is just the number of sides dash gon. So even including like 11. An 11-sided figure is called an 11-gon. 22-sided figure is a 22-gon. So these are all terms you need to know, not by way of like, I won't say like, what's the name of an 11-side polygon or what's the name of a 6-sided polygon, but you will see things like find the number of angles or the sum of the angles in a hexagon, and you would need to know that has 6 sides. Okay, so these are the ones you have to make sure that you know. Raise your hand if you're still coming down. Okay. All right, so this Polygon Angle Sum Theorem is basically just a formula. It says the sum of the measures of the interior angles, so the word interior is important there because there could be interior, could be exterior angles. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex n-gon, so any number of sides, is n minus 2 times 180. So if I take a polygon and I add up all the angles inside, the measure of the angles, I would get n minus 2 times 180. So you're going to get a couple different formulas today. It's important to know that this is sum, because there's an each coming, okay? And it's important to know that it's interior, because we're going to do exterior. This is convex. So if you remember like a polygon that's convex, it doesn't cave in at any point. That's a convex polygon, where a concave one would work its way in at some point, where if I could extend the sides of that, it would cross into the actual polygon itself. So when we say sum of a polygon, interior angles, we're talking about a convex polygon. So if I had taken and measured each of these and then added them all up, I would get the same value as the n minus 2 times 180. So the number of sides minus 2 times 180. All right, first example. What's the sum of the interior angles of the following polygons? So A says a heptagon. How many sides is a heptagon? 7 sides. So n is 7. And then my formula is n minus 2 times 180. So I do 7 minus 2 times 180. 5 times 180. And then I do 180 times 5. And I get 900 degrees. All right, so how many sides, what would n be for 17 gone? N is 17. So 17 minus 2 times 180 is 15 times 180. And then I would do 1, well, I'm going to leave the 0 off. 18 times 15, then I'm going to add the 0 back on. So 4. $2,700 degrees. So just be really careful because obviously some of these numbers get a little bit bigger. Questions?
Do you actually have to put the degree sign each time?
No, I'm not going to mark it wrong if you don't have the degrees. Just realize that that's what it's asking for, right? Because sometimes it'll ask for like the number of sides or the angles. Just realize that those are angle measurements. Okay, example 2 says find the measure of angle G. I think I'm missing. Okay, add those in. So F should be 91 degrees, E should be 98 degrees, and H would be 112 degrees. So if I'm missing one angle, what do I have to find first? Did you want to finish that? What's the first thing you got to figure out? What they should all add up to, right? So how many sides is this figure? 4, right? So 4 minus 2 times 180 would be 2 times 180, which is 360. So that's a common one if you just want to remember that a quadrilateral would be 360. Now what do I have to do? Add up the ones you've got, right? So 91, 98, and 112. And then do what? Good. Subtract it from the. So that missing angle should be 59 degrees.
Where's your 4 from? Is because there's 4.
There's 4 sides. Yep. So that would be a quadrilateral with 4 sides. Good so far? Questions? Okay, a corollary, which is something easily determined from the theorem. But again, this time it's just a formula. And for this one, it's saying the measure of each interior angle of a regular n-gon. So now we're talking about one specific angle. It's still interior, but what's the word regular mean? It's been a long time since you've been in school, right? Did all that information go back out? A whole decade. Regular means all the angles and all the sides are the same. So the only way this works is if it's regular. If it's not regular, like if you look at that last one, how would you be able to find just one? You wouldn't know it, right? They all have to be the same. So a regular polygon is one that has all the sides and angles are equal. So equilateral is all the sides are the same. Equiangular is all the angles the same. Regular is both. And the formula for that, the equation for that is 180 times n minus 2. That part of it is the sum, right? So we're going to take the sum and then we're going to divide it by the number of sides. All right, so example 3 says find the measure of each interior angle of the given polygon. So A says a regular quadrilateral. How many sides is a quadrilateral? 4. So n is 4. Each would be 180 times n minus 2 over n. So this is 180 times 4 minus 2 over 4. 180 times 2 divided by 4. 360 divided by 4, which is 90. What's a regular quadrilateral? Has another name.
square.
A square, good, right? So it makes sense that it would be 90 degrees, right? Because all the angles would be 90 degrees inside the square. All right, you do the next one. All right, how many sides is an octagon? 8. 8. She's right for the rest of it, right? 8 minus 2 over 8, 180 times 6 over 8. So here's the thing. You could actually simplify this if you wanted to, or you could just find the sum and then divide by 8. It's totally up to you. But technically, this is a fraction that we can simplify and make it easier. So I'll show you both, right? So if I kept going and I did 180 times 6, it'd be 0 and then another 48. Nope, not 12, 10. There. 1080, and then that I would take and divide by 8. So I would do 1080 divided by 8, which is once, 3 times, 5 times. So each one would be 135 degrees. How many of you got it wrong? How many of you got it right? Raise your hand if you got it right. Okay, good. And again, the other thing you can do is actually simplify from here. So I can make it easier by just saying, like, I know 2 goes into this and this. I could simplify again, or I could just divide the 180 by 4. Either way, okay, you can continue to go by doing the sum and then dividing or simplifying it. Sometimes a question will ask 2 parts. It will say, what's the sum? And so you've already found the sum. And then what's each? So you've already done the top part. You don't have to do the top part again. Just take it and divide by the number of sides. Questions? Okay, so we're actually going to stop there today. And then the assignment that's now on your to-do list has the part from tomorrow in addition to it. You're going to start by doing the part from today, and I wrote it in the instructions, but you're going to stop at number 17, and you're going to submit that for tomorrow, and then we'll finish the notes tomorrow. You'll get to work on that second part of the assignment, and then you'll submit the whole thing. So you should have 2 submissions, one that's today, and then I'll move the due date, and then another one tomorrow, okay? So for tonight, you're going to complete, I think it starts with like 11 to 17.